Good afternoon again, at least good day, good whatever time it is. I hope that you are having a good time wherever you are. That is the hope, that you are happy. At least, if not happy, you are not unhappy. You are just surviving. At least you are able to survive. I hope that survival is the thing that you manage to do, at least if you can be happy. And I hope that state is temporary. Alright, let's get into why I'm doing this. I have a problem with infinity and how it is used. Ever since I came across the concept infinity, I have become more convinced that it is not being used properly. People don't understand this thing, or maybe it is so simple that people just don't believe that it can be the way it is. I don't understand actually. How can people ignore the fact that no one can count to infinity? There are a lot of numbers which are said to be beyond infinity, and I'm just sitting there wondering, how does someone come up with something like that? How do you decide that there is something beyond infinity when you cannot count to infinity? How do you even talk about beyond when you cannot get there? I mean, the reality is that there is no beyond infinity. Anything that is said to exist beyond infinity is just a construct of people just deluding themselves into believing that they can grasp. Infinity is big, vast, huge, any word that you can use that represents an ever increasing size that just doesn't stop. Yes, the thing about infinity is that it doesn't stop. If the universe has been created all this time, even today it is being created, then there is never going to be the end of the universe. If it is infinite, then there is no end, because that is what the word means. Infinity, endlessness. That is what I think it is. Infinity, the concept that describes endlessness. Why are people coming in here again? Give me a break, people. Don't come here. I'm trying to explain infinity to these wonderful people who are looking through this hourglass, through these pixelated pixels, trying to grasp the concept of infinity. I hear people say that there are countable and uncountable infinity. There are many infinities, and I'm like, how can there be many infinities? How do they exist? They're just lying to us. And then they say that there are infinities between numbers, infinities within numbers. Without this, infinities here and there, infinities can be counted, infinities cannot be counted. But that is just bullshitting, bull crapping. That makes me angry. I get angry when I come across such things, because they are obviously not true. If you have at least two brain cells to rub together, you can come to the realization that there is only one infinity. No countable infinities, no uncountable infinities. Infinities is uncountable by its very nature. You cannot count to infinity. But then they say that they are countable infinities, as if they understand what they are saying. Do they even understand that the very concept of countable infinity goes against infinity being endless? Nothing can count to infinity. Even the best super or hyper computer, or mega or ultra mega what computer that can ever be created will never be able to count to infinity, because infinity, however you put it, is endless. It doesn't end. It just doesn't end. There is no end. You just keep going. You don't stop. You don't talk about the end. Well, you can talk about it. You are never going to get there. And this is not just a pessimistic thing where you just don't believe in something. Don't believe in getting there to infinity. No. This is just a logical fact of the universe, which, like every other thing that have over the years been ignored just to come up with concepts that are supposed to make sense, or at least to be relevant, to at least explain things, without understanding that sometimes you don't need that. You don't need to come up with a stopgap solution when something doesn't make sense. If it doesn't make sense, you need to break it down. You need to understand it on a fundamental level. Take a step back, or as many steps as you can, and try to understand it from the very basics. How do two Lego bricks fit together to create this complex thing? If you don't understand that, you can just break them down. Well, you are not going to be able to. You might not be able to remake that thing if you don't have precise instructions to follow. But if you just keep putting them back together, no matter how many tries you get to the solution, you will eventually get there. So yes, infinity. If there's just only one of it, countable infinity is my food. Uncountable infinity is my food. There is uncountable infinity. But you get what I'm saying. There is no countable infinity. You can't count to infinity. Stupid to think that you can.